Say I like reading international affairs, and accordingly I chose my optional also. My optional was PSIR, and in my first attempt, earlier interview also, and this time also, my preference always have been Indian Foreign Service, IFS. I have to admit that guidance is very important in this journey. If you don't have guidance, you are easily missing some 2 or 3 years of. It will be wastage. I completed my graduation way back in 2015. I was not knowing what I have to do. I was totally disoriented. I was no guidance, but I knew nothing. I never thought that something like this can happen. I never heard about, and that thing happened. Ki on some technical ground, my candidature was cancelled.
This time in Leader Success Podium, I have a very special guest, Priyanshu. So, as I do in every interview, we can talk about his journey, mostly about his strategy, and also in the last part, we will talk little about his mindset. All right, welcome, Priyanshu, and first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a great achievement.
Thank you.
And we can just start by telling you a story, your journey. So, what did you study, and how much time it took to crack this exam?
So I belong to Gorakhpur, which is in Uttar Pradesh, and my education has been through state boards, so Hindi medium education. It was done totally in Hindi medium. When I came here, I have to switch to English medium. So all method of instructions and all each and everything went to English medium. So it was a little bit tough initially. And this was my fifth attempt. I have been able to clear prelims 4 times. In my first attempt, I was not able to clear prelims. Rest of the attempts, I was able to clear prelims, but first 2 attempts, I missed cutoff of mains. But in my fourth attempt, I went to interview and something happened, and I was again not into the services. Finally, this year, it was my overall fifth attempt. I have been able to secure 120%.
Okay, all right, great. So, what did you do in your graduation?
So I have done my graduation from a college which is based in my village itself. It is affiliated to Jaunpur University. So I have done BCom from there. BCom, I'm BCom graduate.
Okay, after that you came to Delhi for preparation.
No, I completed my graduation in 2015, son, and after that 3 years I was, you can say, I was not having any idea what I have to do. A total disarray kind of situation. I did haywire kind of things. I just wasted time. I have to say that I have to accept this thing. It was negligence. I started my preparation in 2018. My elder brother, he basically said that you should go for it, and it was on his advice I started my preparation in 2018.
Okay, so it's only because of the brother suggested that you wanted to come to civil service, or you had this idea that I should serve the country, or some inspiration or motivation that actually helped you to come to this field?
To be very honest, the very first, you can say, initiator was advice of my brother. So once he told that I have to do it, it is kind of, you can say, it is an order that you have to follow. When I came here, I started studying. I developed interest in international affairs. I have a very good, you can say, I like reading international affairs, and accordingly I chose my optional also. My optional was PSIR, and in my first attempt, earlier interview also, and this time also, my preference always have been Indian Foreign Service, IFS. So this time also it is. So it was suggestion of my brother on which I started preparation, and through a course of preparation, during preparatory phase, I developed interest into, you can say, discipline, so that I got to know a lot about, and I developed also a keen interest in representing our country, representing.
All right. Now let's come to the strategy part. Okay. So you have made multiple attempts. So you were following a trial and error method to crack this exam. So what are things that you did wrong in your previous attempt, correcting of which helped you to secure this rank?
So first of all, sir, I have to admit that guidance is very important in this journey. If you don't have guidance, you are easily missing some 2 or 3 years of. It will be wastage, and in my case, it has been a lot. I can say in first prelims where I failed, I missed cutoff. I think some 1.5 mark, and 2 silly mistakes that I made. I would like to tell you, sir. There was a question regarding participatory notes. So I think 15 or 20 days back, I read a whole article on participatory notes. And the moment I read that statement, I was so excited that, okay, I know this, I'm going to mark it correct. And I saw the first option, it was not starting from P. I saw the second option, no P. Third option I saw P, I just straight for, and it is my bad habit that I mark it and I OMR fill kar deta. So I saw that and I marked it. Later when I revisited that, it was promissory note, not participatory note. Participatory note was at fourth option. So this is how had been the very basic thing. I should have been careful enough. What to do? I completed the whole paper in 1.5 hours and I missed the thing. It is not something. So guidance is very important. And what you asked, sir, the things that I found error each and every stages. So in first attempt, this was error that I can highlight you. In second and third attempt, I was making a very big blunder in mains. Mains basically optional mein there are two parts and there are 4 questions in each part. So we can do maximum attempt of 3 from one section. I was not aware about it. I made this mistake. In one paper, paper 2 generally, I made all 4 questions from a single section, and this is how I compromised 50 marks. I missed cutoff first time in 8 marks, and second time 6 marks, and this 50 marks blunder I was making. So ultimately third attempt I rectified that error, and finally I went to interview. I cleared also, but something happened. I was not into services, and in this attempt, sir, this last fifth attempt, it was all about practice. I practiced a lot. I divided my day into 2 parts. First one belonging to GS papers and second one belonging to optional papers. I used to study for 3 hours of content consumption, and 1 hour I used to write at least 5 questions from that particular topic, whatever topic I'm reading that day. I used to write that within time. I used to set time and then so I did same for GS and optional, and it has been very helpful. As I see, my marks has in GS papers, I have increased my marks by 25 to 30 marks. I think that is something that came very handy for me.
And also the prelims. What is your exit strategy? Do you read a lot of things or do you focus more on solving questions? What was your strategy to clear prelims?
So to clear prelims, the very first thing that we have to do, we have to keep our material concise. This is something that I have to say, because when we roam in market, we see lot of content, lot of materials printed out there, and if we see that all, we feel FOMO that are we missing out on something. So this is something that we should avoid. We must make a very concise material list. It must be NCRTs and 1 reference book. That's all, nothing else. Then for current affairs, I would highly recommend following 1 newspaper. At least 1 newspaper everyone should follow, be it the Hindu or Indian Express, and 1 monthly magazine from any institute, jo bhi, in whichever magazine a person is feeling comfortable in, that magazine can be done. So this is material part. After that, yes, practicing question matters a lot. It is going to serve a lot of purposes. The very first one is it is going to serve purpose of self-assessment. Whatever you are studying, until and unless you are not going to solve questions, you are not going to know whether you have retained those materials or not. This is first thing. Second thing, when we solve questions, it is also value addition purpose that it is serving. Why? Because there are a lot of things that are not mentioned in books. And when we solve those questions and there is explanation behind, when we get test series from market, so that additional value addition, that is it is also that purpose is also getting solved by that. And secondly, more and more questions we solve. Actually, what happens is, out of 100 questions, a best candidate, he is also going to be aware about to 45 to 50 or 55 question at max. But as we see that हम जैसे देख रहे हैं अभी क्या हो रहा है कि एटलीस्ट 4 to 5 questions में people are not having any idea. Only UPSC answer key is going to tell what kind of answer is going to correct. And those 4 to 5 questions are going to compromise at least 10 to 15 marks of yours. So you have to be in safe range. You have to target at least 110 marks, so that even if all those questions are going to be unfavorable to you, you are able to make your name into the list. And for that, you have to increase number of attempts. This time I attempted something around 97 questions. In my earlier attempts, I used to attempt 93, 95 questions like that. So the crux is we have to do an additional 40 questions on basis of logic, on basis of rational, on basis of elimination techniques. So how we are going to develop them? More and more questions we are going to solve, more and more PYQs we are going to solve. It is only through those PYQs, those practices, we are going to be able to mark those questions correct.
Okay. All right, great. So now let's come to the mains part. That is the most crucial part in getting a good rank.
Right.
And when it comes to mains, how was your preparation? So did you prepare elaborate notes from the syllabus topics, or you were trying to solve a lot of questions and writing practices? So how did you design your mains preparation?
So one thing I have to accept that I'm not that good in note making. Note making is something that I'm very, very bad at it. So my preparation has not been notes oriented. I generally prefer to get ready-made notes from market, keep it there, and I will be reading that multiple times. This is something that I do. And here also I can see this was my fourth mains, and I have seen the more I practice, more it is getting reflected in my marks. This is something that I have noticed. Once I started practicing, my marks started going up. In my first attempt, I did nothing. All I was doing, I used to write a 3-hour test every week. That's all, nothing. I used to keep on reading and writing that. The target was to complete all 20 questions within 3 hours time. That's all. So apart from that, in next attempt, I tried to write a lot of questions on PSI, political science. So there, that mark got reflected. I got good marks in PSI. In third attempt, again, I increased the number of attempts. I started daily answer writing. I started earlier. What I used to do, I used to read 5 days, and Saturday, Sunday, I used to write test, 3-hour test. The problem was that in those 3 hours, my total focus was on completing those questions within time period, and it was basically compromising the quality of answers, because all I was caring about is quantity. I have to write all the questions. That's all. So in my third mains attempt, I started daily answer writing, and it was that year I made into interview tak gaya tha, and after that something. In this attempt, it is only thing that is creating a lot of difference. A lot of answers I used to read that same material. I used to write it, because in mains, if we see, most of the questions are repetition. Most of the questions are repetition. The only thing that is going to change is what example that I'm going to put, what kind of data, latest data I'm going to quote. This is the only thing that is going to change. Otherwise, if I give you examples, let's refer some questions on left-wing extremism from 2013-14. They will be giving you a running statement. Okay, recently, this attack has happened. This was soldier martyred. And in this wake, analyze threat of left-wing extremism. This is the question. The same question can come in 2025. How they are going to rephrase it? They will be saying, recently Home Minister Amit Shah has declared a target of 2026 to eradicate left-wing extremism. In light of this statement, analyze this thing. The crux of the question remains the same. Only running statement is going to change. So more we are going to write, more we are going to know about these things, okay, how they are framing these questions, and it is going to be very helpful in understanding the demand of those questions.
Okay. And also there is a perception with respect to mains answer writing, that is somebody should start writing answers from day one. Do you agree with that view?
It depends on individuals. The very first thing is that answer writing is it involves a lot of inertia. Anyone would generally we see that people are not willing to write answers from day one. But if someone is eager enough, he must start, because how it is going to happen, at least he will have to start someday. So if he is starting right now, it may happen that he will have to research a lot. It may happen he is going to take a lot of time. But the good thing is that process has to come at some point of time. So better, if you are feeling that you have to start from day one, why not? Dedicate some half an hour, 45 minutes for that. Write only one answer, but you can start. I wrote my first answer, which was on Ottawa Declaration, the Arctic Circle. And remember, I knew nothing. I kept on researching. I wrote that 10-mark question in 22 minutes. So if someone is eager enough, he must write. Otherwise, if someone feels, okay, I have to prepare a bit, so that is also fine, but it's good. If you start early, it is good. That is all good.
So what are the most essential things that you would keep in mind when writing answers?
So the very first thing is the demand of the question. But question is asking only those things we are going to write, then only we are going to secure marks. Apart from that, whatever we are going, it is not going to make sense. So first thing is this. Second thing, our way of presentation, how we are presenting our answer. That is the second thing that matters. And third thing, now we are witnessing कि examples का role बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गया. More examples you quote, more fact, data, you are substantiating your point. it is fetching you more mark. So these are three very key requisites while we are going to write answers. Demand of the question must be fulfilled. This is something that we have to. And one more thing I would like to suggest: the word limit is 150 to 50. So it is not 150 words or 250 words. Okay. So it is not necessary that we have to go 150 above or 250 above. No, we have to adopt a format where we are able to 150 words के answer को we are able to write in 140 words, so that we are going to 10 words per question, and it is going to give us at least 11 minutes of extra time, so that we are going to be much more articulate in our rest of answers, because we will be having time to think. Generally what happens ki we have so scarcity of time ki straightforwardly we will be reading question and we will be writing it. In that case what happens is ki there is very high chances of misinterpretation of the questions. That is something that can be done. So fulfilling demand of the question is something that is quintessential.
Okay. Do you prepare any specific introduction and conclusion for most repeated themes in the mains?
Such thing I haven't done, sir. No. My total focus was on PYQs. PYQs, I did, I think, some 6 or 7 years of PYQs, GS 1, 2, 3, 4, and optionals. So my method was like that. I used to read some topic and used to solve PYQs of those topics itself. So it was kind of holistic kind of thing. I am reading those topics, I am solving question on them also. So it is a full circle is getting completed. Okay. So this is what it means.
So did you deliberately try to maximize number of points? Because many toppers tell this idea that like if you're writing more number of points, the chances are high that you will get good marks.
More number of?
More number of points.
Points. It depends. Everyone has their unique style of writing. So there would be some aspirants who would be writing a lot of points. They will be writing some 9 or 10 points. But in my case, I would be writing 5 to 6 points. But what it must involve is, if 6 points I am writing, it must follow a pattern. There must be one keyword which should be highlighted. There must be a little bit explanation, and it should be followed by an example. So this is the format that I follow. I have to write 6 points, but those 6 points are going to be in this kind of format. So this is something that I adhere to.
Now let's come to the interview part. So how did you prepare for interview?
For interviews, actually, my friends have been very crucial in this journey. So I have my friends from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. So with them, I have to communicate in English itself. So and generally, whenever I talk to my home or I'm talking to my friend circle there, so I have to talk in Bhojpuri, because that is my mother tongue. So it is very necessary that at least in that cycle, you have to interact with the person with whom you are going to, the language that you are going to speak in interview. That is very important, because you have to be articulate in that also. So this thing, and additionally, I attempted some 8 or 9 mock interviews. So that has been also very crucial. Going mock, it is all about how you are going to be, how well articulate you are going to be into your points. So for that, more and more speaking practice that you are going to do, it is going to be very helpful.
Okay. What did they ask in the interview?
In my interviews, it revolved around my hobbies. My hobbies was watching documentaries and observing foreign news channels. So most of the interview went on this part. Apart from that, it went on economy also, types of taxation, shell companies, FDI, FPI, which is good, which is bad. These kind of questions were asked. But mostly it revolved around media channels and all. They pinpointedly asked some media channels from a particular country. For example, one panel member asked that, can you tell some media channel from France, some channel from Russia, and do you think that what is Sputnik Media Ventures? Are they functioning in India? Are they allowed to function in India? These kind of questions were asked.
Okay. So how did you prepare current affairs? Did you read newspapers?
Newspaper has been mainstay. Newspaper is something, throughout my preparation, I have read 2 newspapers daily, The Hindu and Indian Express. Logic behind that is that if we see the questions of UPSC, the language of those questions are going to be either from newspapers or it is going to be a NCERT. We are not going to a compilation, doesn't matter hum kitna bhi pad le. Language are going to be from newspaper or there. So a lot of time what happens is कि if you have read newspapers and you are reading some questions, all of a sudden a headline flashes in your mind and you are going to get it correct.
Okay.
So newspaper has been mainstay. Apart from that, one monthly magazine I refer.
Okay. All right. Okay. So did you make notes for prelims and mains?
Prelims के लिए I did so.
Okay.
Prelims के लिए in my earlier attempts I made notes, but in last 2 attempts I haven't made note for prelims also.
All right.
My preparation has been it revolved around the prefabricated materials, whatever I can give, so that I can say that I was lazy enough to not go there. I was lazy enough to give it a miss, but I relied on prefabricated materials.
Did you use any productivity tools to learn better in any mobile application or anything?
It was agenda oriented. So I have some agendas to fulfill daily, and until and unless I'm going to fulfill those agendas, it is I'm going to feel restless kind of. So, and a routine was scheduled like I am going to wake up with newspaper, then I will be reading static, then I will be reading current affair, and if it is prelims, I will be solving at least 100 questions. If it is mains, then I will be writing at least 10 questions. It went like this. It is as simple as it is. Okay, these are the tasks. I have to do these things, no matter how I have to.
Okay. So in your journey, did you use social media? No. You completely avoided it.
I was hyperactive on social media.
Okay.
When I came here in 2018, but when I came here, the kind of pressure I got, I left it out.
Okay. All right. Now let's come to the third part. That is about the mindset. So when you started to think about preparing for UPSC, did you think about a plan B?
That's as I told you earlier. I completed my graduation way back in 2015. I was not knowing what I have to do. I was totally disoriented. That I was no guidance, but I knew nothing. And the kind of degree I hold and the place from where the degree I hold, it basically it is we can say it is not going to be of any use in today's corporate affairs. So I didn't have really a plan B at that time. So I came here, I started this preparation, and after that I started venturing. In those period, I found out that okay, coaching institution, I joined evaluator mentorship program. So this was only that I can think about. If at all I had some plan B, it was my plan B.
Okay. So this is a question I ask to every topper. So what is the percentage of luck in your success?
But it plays a huge role. In my fourth attempt, I did everything right, and I was into the list also. But that technical error, I never thought that something like this can happen. I never heard about. And that thing happened on some technical ground, my candidature was cancelled. So obviously I have to say that it was luck only, that God said that you have to struggle a little bit more. So I had to. So but the thing is, luck part is going to come only when we are prepared enough. And if we are prepared enough, then only we can say, okay, luck will play its part. But the question that we must ask ourselves is, have we done our bit? So that is very important. Until and unless we are not going to do our bit, we have no right to complain about luck getting involved.
Okay. And if I ask you three things to arrange it in a descending order, on the idea that this factor has contributed the most. For example, attitude, hard work, strategy. Among all these three, which factor played a big role in your success?
Topmost, I will rank attitude first, because it is attitude that is going to keep you motivated. And motivation is very, very crucial part. It is very grueling journey. And a lot of times we will feel that we are at lows. We will see that there is no light at the end of tunnel. At those times, having a right attitude is something that is very important. Otherwise, we are going to collapse basically.
Okay.
And apart from that, strategy first, because doesn't matter how much hard work we are going to do, if it is not in a right direction, it is not going to be of any good. And then hard work.
And also every time you failed, so what is the kind of thought that you have gone through? Because it's something that upset everyone, and some people deviate from the UPSC altogether, but you decided that you will not give up. So what is that you told to yourself that helped you prepare for the next attempt?
After every failure, the very first day on which the result come and I failed, At that very day, I would decide that, okay, this is all, I'm not going to do this. So that is right at right that time, it is something that hit us. After 1 or 2 days, what happens, every human being have that kind of tendency that once he is given opportunity, he would try to limp back into the normalcy. And in my case, I used to see a date. For example, if mains result has come, I have failed in that. Then I used to see, okay, 2 months later, there is a date on which if I perform good, I will be in status quo position. I was happy, I was hopeful, and in that situation, I can go again. So this is something that keep on motivating me. Okay, I have to recollect myself. I have to work for that day. I have to perform good on that day, and I will be everything will fine again. So this is something that kept me motivated, kept me into practice.
All right. And um, you are going to become an Indian Foreign Service officer. That's a really good thing. Actually, what motivates you to become an IFS officer? So you have a habit of reading international relation, but what exactly exciting about it?
So apart from interest, the biggest thing that we are going to get, we are going to represent our country. And that is something above everything. That feeling and that aspiration, it overpowers each and everything. And second thing, it is kind of glamorous also. We see global roundtables happening, global leaders are gathering, and somehow I had that wish, I had that desire that I want to be part of that process. I want to be there. I want to represent my country.
Okay, Alay. So you've gone through a lot of learning, and you are from a very humble background, and achieving this feat has taken a very good effort. So going through all this struggle, so what is your message to future aspirants?
So future aspirants, the very first thing is key, as you say, attitude, hard work, and strategy. So this is something that must keep in mind, and never quit, never stop trying. Because one thing, the results came on 22nd of April, and even before that, uh, had I succeed or not, it doesn't make any sense. But anyone would have asked the question that, do you regret being part of this journey? I would say no. If you wholeheartedly, honestly involve yourself into this process going to enrich you immensely, because I have seen that the kind of person I was when I came here, and the kind of person this journey had turned me after giving wholehearted attempts. So future aspirants, first of all, they must be honest with their efforts, and second, they should never shy of hard work with a strategy. Something that way.
Alay. How did life change after the result?
After results, life it changed really. It changed. When I was here in Delhi, so my friends they celebrated, but it it was like normal. I didn't saw the significance of this thing. Okay, last year I missed my name into the list. This year I have come, I have got some rank. It was fine. So till I was here, it was not making that much sense. Once I reached at my home in my village, and then people started coming, people started meeting me, and then they used to talk their experiences, each and everything, okay, how they felt about this. Then I realized, okay, something significant has been done. So yes, it was very nice feeling, and life changed a lot.
Okay, it was nice talking to you, Priyanshu, and actually, this is a great responsibility also. You're going to represent our country.
Right.
And the idea is not to just become an officer, but to become a good officer.
Right.
So now our country is going to become developed country, and you will be representing
Right.
our national pride in other countries. And Lead IAS wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Nice
for
talking
joining.
to you.
Lead IAS, #1 IAS Academy in Kerala.